Hi guys, Stu here from Analog X. So I thought I would do just a short video because really I haven't seen or spoken to you guys for a while, and there's a reason for that. As you all know, we've been working really hard on Genesis on the public beta, and it's gone really well. We've had quite a few issues, as you normally do, with beta. So we had some registration issues, we had some issues with crashes, um, lots of little buggy things that you'd expect. But yeah, we're working through them, and we're kind of, I would say, fairly close to the version 1 official release. And yeah, I thought it'd be a good opportunity for those that haven't seen Genesis as well, just to give you a little overview of Genesis itself and a little bit about the upcoming Series 5. So start with the Series 5. Series 5 is the most amazing breakthrough that we've had in the pretty much 2 years since we started Analog X, and we've gone from Series 1, 2, 3, 4. We thought Series 4 was it. You know, we had we had the attack curve and fast release compression. We had fantastic sound and saturation. We could capture, you know, EQ settings, and we've done so many devices. And to be fair, the feedback's been amazing. There was one little thing that was missing, and that was, I did post a video and I took it down over a month ago when we were working through this stuff, and I didn't want to put people off. But ultimately, the tech, certainly Namtech, had a problem where the release capture time was very short, and the reason for that is for what we call the receptive field within the receptive field within the way that we model within black box modeling technology. So ultimately we came up with a few, well, there's three main things that we've done with Series 5 is we've now fixed that issue so we can capture the longer release compressors. And I released 3 test Series 5 compressors last week, and the feedback has been unbelievable, phenomenal feedback. People are absolutely loving these. Everybody wants Series 5 now. Series 5 tech will be Genesis only, so it will only load into Genesis, and that's because, you know, we have a bespoke tech behind the scenes that's taken all the best bits of NAM, and then we've utilised our own bespoke training files and additional custom coding to make NAM fit better for Pro Audio. So we've done that, and I just can't wait for you guys. There's a couple of videos I've put up where I explain some demos of the new Series 5 in action. There's the profiles are free on the Discord channel, so if you want to jump over there and download the freebies, then feel free to do so. They are the final. There's 3, but there's 3 Series 5. They're the final profiles that we will be releasing in the NAM format. So you need to have a look, download your Genesis trial, and get used to Genesis, because Series 5 will only be available in Genesis. So that's the update for you on the Series 5. So excited about it, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it and experience what the early adopters, the people in the WhatsApp group, and the people on the Discord channel are raving on about. So enough of that stuff. So on to Genesis. So what's coming? So what we've got is we've got a. I was asked quite often to if we could link the input and output, which is really important, especially when you're using compressors. You want to be using Genesis in auto mode. The auto mode is now fixed as well on the update, which will be coming out shortly. At the moment we've got a little bit of a volume spike there, so that's going to be fixed and ready for you to work predominantly in the auto mode, which means that as you're flicking through profiles, the sound is going to be consistent from profile to profile. And then what we're going to do is there will be the link button, so we're linking input to output. So as you turn down the input, the output gets turned up accordingly. Perfect, that's what we want. A lot of people have asked about the drive. There's a little bit of uncertainty, and that's because in the beginning everybody was using it in manual mode because the auto mode wasn't working very well. So now it is. Everybody now needs, and it will default to auto. So the way that the audio goes through Genesis is it comes in through the input, and and so this is separate. This will drive into the profile, and then the separate drive function here, if you think that there's an auto leveling function wrapped around the drive, so it takes the audio input at whatever level you send it, and then dependent, if you think about this being in its own box, okay, so whatever level you put in, if I turn this up, the level will stay the same on the output. So it's volume compensated, okay? So if I really want to drive into, and this is really cool for quick process, so I want to set my input level, output level will move accordingly. I can then just make sure that I'm set up on kind of -18. We've reset the VU meter. Originally, I kind of like the original way that Decapitator had done like a DBFS version of it, just so that if you're on your master bus, you've got more headroom on the VU. Most people didn't agree, and most people like the idea of maintaining the -18. We've got K20 meters. It makes sense for -18 DBFS to be 0 dBu on the VU meter. So that's been realigned to there. So quickly back to the drive. So volume compensated, and then so we can turn this up, set the input level. This is boxed in. We can turn this up, okay, to drive into the profile. So if we've got a saturation profile in there, we can drive into the profile without affecting the input, without affecting the output, and we can set that flavor to taste. We can then tweak the output for the mix level if we want. Okay, so that's a really, really cool way of working, because what it means is we can flick through profiles quickly, and then we can just audition them, that they're all the same volume. We can tweak the input. We're not messing around over here. If we tweak this, and yeah, everything just stays in auto game mode, and that's so cool, so quick to work. The other thing is, what's brilliant about Genesis is people have just said this is a player. Look, this is not just a player. The routing on this thing is crazy. Well, let me explain. Okay, so not only with first company to get true phase aligned dry wet, naming no competitors, but try their compressors, etc., and you will find that this is not phase accurate. Okay, this is phase accurate. If you find any profiles that aren't, please let me know and we can fix that for you. This is amazing. If you want to put the retro Greg Wells on master bus, and you really like what that compressor's doing to the mix, but you don't want as much of it, we can just, of course, use the parallel dry wet. That's fantastic. The other thing that's really helpful is having this one knob EQ. Now this is genius. It's a genius design if you think about it, because if we've got audio coming in and we're processing, sometimes we want to, let's say even with hardware compressors, sometimes you love what the 1176 is doing to that drum bus on parallel, but you're losing the lows. You know, the more compression you get, and if you're up to say 15-20 dB of compression, then on a lot of even the hardware compressors, they tend to thin out on the low end. So I mean, this is perfect. So all we're going to do is we're going to put the one knob EQ into post mode, and then we're going to set the if we've got a drum bus there, I'm going to set that to maybe 60, and then I'm just going to bump that low end back. Post compressor. I don't need to leave the plug-in. I dial that in perfectly. I bypass it on and off so that I'm perfectly in line with the low end pre-compression, and I'm done. Or let's say I want to. Okay, let's have another example. So let's say we've got a pop vocal. I did this the other day, and then all you need to do to get that really upfront pop vocal sound is, you know, we normally set up lots of different parallels. We've got saturation just on the highs. You know, we've maybe got some high EQ there to give it a bit of that, and then we may have some parallel compression and all that. Look, you can do this in Genesis. All we're going to do is we're not going to touch any of the buttons. We're just going to wind up the filter so that we are only processing the compressor on the highs, so somewhere around about 1 to 2K to start with. We're going to crank the hell out of the compressor on the vocal. We're going to stick this over to the dry, and then we're just going to blend that in with the original vocal. If I want to do some more EQ on it afterwards, I can just switch on profile 2. I can just, you know, don't even need to load anything in. I can just switch it on. Let's say I've got a little bit of gubbins, a little bit of guff in that kind of 300-400 region, a little bit of boxiness, that's taken care of. Fantastic. I want a little bit more of the highs back. Or let's say, actually, no, what we're going to do is we're just gonna give it a little bit more of a vintage feel. So we're going to maybe drop it down to 18, and then we can maybe come in here and we can maybe use the high shelf, and then maybe just set that to, let's say, around maybe 5 or 6K, and just give that a little tweak there. So then you've got the perfect pop vocal. The ways that you can work with Genesis, this is not a straightforward. You can have the filters pre or post, you can have the EQ driving, you could push, for example, just high-end shelf into a tape emulation, and then we can pre-emphasis, and then we can come in on the second profile, and then we can set that to high shelf, and then we could set that to the same kind of 3-4K, and then we can just drop that back. So we've got emphasis, pre-emphasis. We can drive into the profile and then reduce it afterwards. Perfect for saturation. Filters, if you want to automate the drop on your house tune, everything's here, everything's there. You will be so surprised how few other algo plugins that you will be looking to use. Okay, there are specific things that we want to use for specific purposes. For example, auto tune. For example, you might want some Sooth on there, whatever. These are very specific algo tools that we use in order to caress our sound to how we want it to be. But in terms of your kind of meat and potato processing, this is unbelievable. If you want to try Genesis, please head over to Analog X website, and I'll put the link in the description. If you pop over there, download the demo. We do a trial for 30 days, so you can download Genesis, try it for 30 days. Most companies are giving 10 days, 14 days. Look, we are so sure that you will love not only Genesis, not only the ecosystem. We've got a community of people, hardcore producers, professional engineers, hobbyists, you name it. People are coming to me and saying, we haven't been involved in something like this ever where a plugin is concerned. So I'm over the moon about that. Enough from me today. I thought I'd give you that quick overview, and thanks for listening. I hope I haven't bored you too much. This is not a music video, it's an update video, and it's just a walk and talk through Genesis. I will put on lots of other demos now that I'm up and running again. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe the channel, help us grow. If you can afford to support us and buy some of the brand new Series 5 packs that are coming out, please do so. And I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks very much.